peace, power, and love. Again, before the sunrise with Blackanized International Nubian consciousness. Conscious chess moves. Waking up to a brand new day that's in progress of what we're going to do to better our state of being in this realm, in this political reality that we're facing, our local reality that we're facing in our community, parlaying this our community and the killing in our community along with the killings that are going on around the country. And the most prevalent one now is in Chicago. 2-year-old child was killed, and they're calling on the politicians, the police, and all those type of people, and maybe calling on the wrong people. I know that we always point the finger at the gangs and the crews or whatever, but sometimes it may be Asian provocateurs that's slipping in there doing some of this killing. But the people we need to approach is the people that we feel are doing the killing. That's in Ward 8, Chicago, California, wherever, within this minimum security prison that we be in, and it starts with the prison of the mind. We have to purify ourselves through peace, love, and power that emanates from us as a people. We got to develop this self-love, man, and overcome this self-hate that's been instilled in us through social engineering. We can't keep blaming the outside forces, the evil forces, the political system. We can't keep blaming them when we are held accountable for what goes on in our lives, in our communities. Because if we don't develop self-discipline and self-control, then someone else or something will be controlling us. Sometimes that be liquor, sometimes that be drugs, K2, flakka, whatever. If we ain't in control of our senses, then we're going to be controlled by those who manipulate our senses. So my advice to us as a people, we need to go into the street, into the trenches, go talk to our young warriors. And I don't believe that all the killings are based on our young warriors being at war. Not saying that they're not responsible for some, but I don't think that they're responsible for all. And we need to go talk to them to rise them up to, develop. We say the issues are financial or recreation centers or whatever. If we know that, then we have to develop that, and we can't wait on nobody else to develop it for us. We have to go to the people that we know have the finances and buy properties or buy buildings that we can establish rec centers or open up the rec centers that we have in the community. They used to be in the schools. They closed the schools and turned them into something else, or tear them down for condominiums and all that or whatever. We need to reopen them and let them work for us to establish this peace and harmony in our community that we need. But we have to go talk to the source of our problem. We have to go talk to them with love and understanding to overcome that animalistic, predatorial nature that they're dealing with or they're thriving with through social engineering. And it's kind of hurtful, to wake up every day or hear the ambulance back and forth or the police back and forth through your community all day, going to the hospital, coming from the hospital, or whatever. It got to stop. We got to put an end to it. And I don't know if it's so that they put the National Guard already to Chicago, but I seen a picture of it, and it's supposed to have been, as of yesterday, a vehicle of some National Guard riding through the streets of Chicago. Is it getting close to a police state there? Get ready to create anarchy there so they can spread like a cancer everywhere? If we don't take control of our communities and bring our young warriors together in harmony so they can stop this murdering of each other, then it is going to go to that police state. Then it may reach anarchy. Then we got to worry about the hillbillies and them being stimulated to also partake in some kind of chaotic action in our communities against us as a melanated people through being programmed through the social engineering and social narcotics that they suffer from also. We have to take on the divine spirit, our divine nature, and stand up to this ordeal that we find ourselves in, not to confront it, but to just step back and defend ourselves from it by establishing infrastructure through organization and unification by those who have the same type of mentality that we have to establish this in our community by any means necessary. We have to, on our community, if it's on the political level, we got to come out them offices and come into the community. If it's in the churches and the masjid or the Hebrew Israelites, we got to change our methodology. We got to incorporate unity, bring coming together in unity, not separation us that we're better than the other people, that we hold the golden chalice or something like that, or our book, holy book, is just for us as the particular people. Everything should be geared for us as a culture, a people that's caught up in this dilemma of being alienated from everything by design. A few of us make it through the loops or whatever and have the mentality and the strength and the withal and the fortitude to go through the system and get the education or the indoctrination to move on and become affluent or whatever. But you still can't sell your soul and forget who you are as a people and your connection through the energy of the divine creation. To be connected is about universal peace, about development of yourself, your universe, and the God in you, your God-like nature, personality and characterization that our ancestors have left us, the pages of information on the scrolls of ancient scrolls and on the walls of ancient Kemet where the truth is etched in stone. We have to go black in order to get to the future. Have to go black to the ancient future to bring us into this now. But we got to stop this self-inflicted genocide, this self-inflicted suffering. We got to stand up. We got to lift each other up. We got to do this yesterday. And I speak it every morning that I get up. I walk it every day when I'm in my talk. Because I know, I feel it, I see it. I don't be out there when the effect of the cause and effect of one of our brothers or whatever, whoever, take a life. But we got to be out there to stop that. We got to stop it, prevent it before it gets started. We got to, like, I ain't gonna say take the guns out the hands of our warriors or whatever, because we might need those for defense later on down the line. But I'm saying put the guns up and stop killing each other. And some of the slave catchers or police or whatever, they have good hearts. It's just a job with them. But again, it's our community. This is our life. This is what we live in our community. We have to have a spark of interest to be unified and to love one another and to develop infrastructure through unification and organization. We can't get around it. We see that the political foundation is crumbling. This political institution that governs us, that we're under their fraudulent laws, is becoming chaotic, and the leadership is chaotic and confused. It's not Hollywood. It's not you on a game show or whatever. This is dealing with people's lives, and we got to realize that. And we keep going to the voting polls, and all this take time. We got 4 years to deal with this guy. Got 2 years to deal with these senators and congressmen and all that. All that take time. Even the laws that you try to implement take time. But we got to be proactive right now in our communities. Not as no game and no joke and all that. We got to be serious, because it's about life and death, and it's about growth and development. If we don't deal with the growth and development of our children, what is our future going to look like? If we don't take a stand and do something, if we don't do this yesterday, then today is not going to be in our favor as a people. If we don't take control of our situation. I know a lot of us come out that pagan holiday and we got to get on the other side of everything that pertains to the system. We can't get caught up in every holiday and everything, because it's not conducive to us as a people. We're doing things to try to establish and maintain some sanity, some peace in our community. And a lot of people are putting forth the effort trying to get these things off the ground. Union Temple, our Ward 8 council member, Trayon White, the Nation Islam with Minister Kadir, and all the brothers of the FOI and the NOI, and all the churches and all the activists that's coming together to try to do something on a positive level of ridding ourselves of the harmful effects of institutionalized racism, brainwashing, social narcotics, and everything that don't benefit us as a people. And we know what we're doing to harm ourselves and hurt ourselves. That's why we got to purify ourselves. We got to purify the temple that the energy of the Creator is in. We got to love one another sincerely. We got to establish good relationships. We got to be balanced in concepts of Ma'at. We got to get the concepts of the African spirituality. We got to step black into the blackness of establishing our culture, identity of peace, love, and harmony, of helping one another, of establishing community ties. Man, boy, it's very, very, very unbecoming of us as a people for all these years to still be stagnated in this cesspool of corruption and deception, in the quagmire maze of deception that we be under. We get up every day to try to make our lives better by going 8 hours or whatever to accomplish the sustainability to pay our bills and all that in this capitalist society. When they are dealing with deterrence in every aspect of our life, from the food, genetically modified food, the water got fluoride and lead in it, the sky, the air that we breathe got chemtrails and other chemicals coming down from the sky on us. Then they dumbing down our children in school, and the school become the pipeline to prison for those that we don't support and motivate, because everything starts from the household, from the parents. And we got to promote a positive energy, constructive energy, and stop what's going on in our communities. It's all interconnected, nationwide, man. What they trying to do and what they doing in Chicago, they're going to try to bring that everywhere. They're going to try to take away our sovereignty in D.C. in a minute. It's going to get rougher and rougher and rougher. That's why we got to unify and organize and develop an infrastructure, because they're taking away all their support systems for us. I'm talking about this government. They're taking away all our support systems. And here in D.C. also. And this also is a nationwide endeavor of them. All that TANF and all that, all the help that they've been giving our young sisters with the babies and all that, they're taking that away. That's why we got to get training. We got to get training. We got to become entrepreneurs, establish businesses, and just go to work and live within our means and stop polluting our temple by these things. This apparatus is keeping us off balance. I'm talking about drugs and alcohol and all that. Immediate gratification and all that. Or our aspiration that's warped, taken out of perspective. We got to get a grip on ourselves as a people and deal with a revolutionary state of mind. We got to hold everybody accountable. We got to watch out for the spiritual and culture agent provocateurs that we find all around us, that infiltrate our organizations. They be doing it, infiltrating every aspect of our livelihood, because they sell their souls for the materialistic goal and don't have no goals for us to rise up in harmony and peace and love. And I just want to say that Union Temple has a movement. I just participate in the Red Ribbon Safe Community Initiative with our Ward 8 Councilman Trayon White. Yesterday at 6, they had one early at 1:30, and throughout aspects of Ward 8, trying to get us to make a pledge to stop the violence in Ward 8, which has the highest homicide rate in D.C., is said. So we as a people have to unite with the people in order to stop this it's so hurtful. I can't even find the words to describe it. When we take our own lives and being at war with no cause, because we trying to control something that we don't have no control over. And the people that's putting everything in our hands are sitting back laughing at us as their plan is in effect. Their plan of depopulation, their plan of, if you're not in jail, you dead. If you ain't dead, then you became emasculated or feminized to be against your nature. All these ploys and traps against us to stop our growth and development as divine people. It's people of love and peace and harmony, of collective collective of individuals inspired to develop our communities and develop ourselves on a higher level of understanding. I just want to read one of the, it's a pledge. It says, I, as a concerned resident, hereby give my pledge to support ending violence in my community to the best of my ability. I pledge to be active, engaged, and committed to ending violence in my community. I pledge to stay involved and to serve as a positive role model. I will be proactive to ensure that my voice is heard in my neighborhood. I will commit to mentoring at least one young person in Ward 8. I will actively engage my community to recruit additional people to be a part of this process to help transform, and uplift all people that live in Ward 8. And that's just the beginning of the Red Ribbon Safe Community initiative that's put in effect by Trayon White, Ward 8 council member. And it's a good initiative because it's a parlay of other organizations or entities trying to do the same thing, like Union Temple and Reverend Wilson, Willie Wilson had the concept also. I don't know where they're at, but I know they've been going down Anacostia High School doing some things. I think they got a thing coming up, and later on in the month of February, Stop the Violence basketball tournament at Anacostia. I know that the Nation of Islam still trying to deal with what they're dealing with to stop the violence in our community with 10,000 strong or whatever like that, or however many it takes to come and purify our community of the corruption, of the self-hate, of the self-inflicted genocide. Whoever will be part of this effort, we must deal with it on a holistic, spiritual, divine essence, culturally, through love and peace and harmony of us as a people, to once again to rise up on the local levels, national levels, and worldwide levels. Because as I always say, it's a pandemic, and it's a planned thing that's been in effect for a long time. And we see that the people that they got in position of power now don't know how to deal with the political arena in this aspect. It makes you see the hypocrisy, really, of the politics, of the politicians. They change words like alternative facts, and then they tell a lie right in front of your face, and they're going to say it's an alternative fact. It's just it's deceit at the highest level, at the highest seat in this political arena of a Roman emperor or whatever. And if we don't pull ourselves up by the strap down in the essence of being sound divinely and spiritually, and do what's right in harmony and peace in our community, starting with ourselves and our family first and foremost, then we're going to go through this hardship, not only locally, but it's like a cancer. It's nationally. Because they definitely got their plan in effect, and they pushing it. Executive order after executive order. And it ain't even been a month, short of 30 days, and all this chaos and confusion at the highest level of the political institution that run this country. And we got other people outside the country that's, they just slobbering at the mouth. Because they see that the power institution is, the corruption within it is not strong. It's not strong. The Russians and the Koreans and the Chinese, they just can't wait. That's why we got to back up, settle down, and settle in and develop an infrastructure so that we won't be caught up in their chaotic confusion. That's what we got to do. We do it on an elementary level. We pool our resources, and all those athletes and entertainers and all that. I know you know the reality is set into your psychic. You know, because you had to go through that door, sign those contracts and all that. And the essence of what you had to go through to get to the level that you are. But you have the resources now. They can't take back what you got in your bank account. You got to pool them resources and maybe get some land, grow some food, establish educational institutions based on our culture and our identity. Man, what can I say? What more can I say? I'm going to keep saying everything that comes to my mind from a divine infusion from my ancestors, on the pathway of my ancestors by divine decree. I'm going to live this until my life is transmuted to another realm. Until that happens, I'll be speaking this truth from within my understanding, the pyramids, the chambers of the pyramids of my mind. This is how I'm live my life, spend my time trying to elevate. No, not trying. I will be elevating through my words and my actions and my deeds. First, through self-elevation, self-discipline, and self-control. Everything that I'm saying, it cycles within my dome, from the wisdom that is given to me, that I ascertain naturally, and being self-taught, self-educated, not institutionalized, not indoctrinated or none of that, but through the ability that's within me, my inner verse and my understanding, being well versed through the ancestors that I met or the information that the ancestors left, understanding who I am through the DNA and naturally and divinely inspired. I am you and you are me to make the we in unity. That's the only way it can be, because it's something getting ready to come down the line and we got to be prepared. It'd be a natural phenomenon that they ain't telling us nothing about. Then we got this phenomenon of this political system that's based on hypocrisy and white supremacy, institutionalized racism, that they trying to keep us at a certain level, keep us up mentally off balance, spiritually off balance. So we can't use our spiritual institutions to separate from each other, but we got to use them to unite amongst each other. It's only one creator, and we been given these certain doors to walk through to worship in that essence. But there's only one door to walk through, and it's the inner verse that pertains to the universe. And we are and were and are the first of those who dealt with theology and every science that there is, so that we got to use everything that we are as melanated, carbonated of this universe, to humanity, the original, the aboriginal, indigenous, on all the continents, and everybody come from us. But now they want to somewhat keep us down and destroy us and use us as the carpet that they walk upon. But we gave them civilizations. We gave them federations. They plagiarized everything they got from us. That's what we got to believe and hold on to. And in the deity that we trust in through African spirituality. We got to come out of everything that they give us, as far as holidays, culture, everything. That's the only thing that we're going to come into the realization of self. That's the only way we're going to come into the realization of self. By not accepting their reality. but coming through the realization of who we are as a nation of people of divine nature. I'm going to, I think in maybe a week's time or something, I may be like taking a short sabbatical to somewhat establish some learning, some esoteric arcane knowledge to further my endeavor into myself, of knowing myself, so I can be better able to regurgitate knowledge of supreme divine universal related to the universe, understanding of the reality that we should take course on or walk on the path of our ancestors, so that we can elevate and be ready for whatever happens. Energetic change in the natural environment or the physical environment. We got to be prepared. We got to be consciously and subconsciously prepared as our conscious and subconscious merge in this energetic time through the synergy, energy, frequency, and vibration on the natural divine side of things. We have to prepare to receive everything that the Creator is going to give us in this day and time. We have to be in alignment with it, spiritually and divinely, because it's happening now. We have the concepts of all these concepts of consciousness and awakening and awoke and all that, but we got to be in the essence of action, proactive with all this understanding of who we are as a people and this cultural awakening and this spiritual awakening. Because if we don't establish anything from having this information and knowledge amongst ourselves, not to be confrontational with our natural enemy, whatever is going to take place is going to take place. We just got to be prepared to deal with it. We can't be in a chaotic state. We got to be in a state of survival and establishment for whatever transpire in this day and time. And as always, I want to say that through my love for myself is a love extended to all my people, a melanated essence in this carbonated universe. Not that I'm not a racist, like this racist institution we find ourselves under, this so-called democratic hypocrisy that we go through. But I am a race man. I do love my skin that I'm in, and my culture that I come from, the spiritual dynamics that lie within me that are of the essence of a natural ordained by divine decree. The deity that I worship is not some mythology or man-made deity or something to keep us separated as a people. It's one universal essence of this whole thing that got us all here on this planet Earth. But some gave birth to racism and gave birth to a demonic state of mind, the animalistic predatorial nature of us as human beings. And that's how they live, because they suffer from lack of melanin. They suffer from being in the caves and all that. And then they became masters of our information, masters of trickology, deception, mass mind control, and all that. And got us in a state of stupor, or selling our souls, or walking around with our eyes wide shut, or being placed under robot control and doing things we don't know why we doing them, but we just be reactive to the frequency and vibrations of what we look at and the sounds that we hear. But we got to overcome that. And those that say they're leaders have to lead correctly, spiritually and divinely, in the essence of overcoming the egotistical, self-centered, arrogant dispositions that we display and attaining knowledge. We got to not attain knowledge to get on drugs and use vulgar language and all that. We got to be this to be leaders and come together in this leadership, no matter what area of knowledge that we attain. It's not the golden chalice. We got to come together as pieces of a puzzle to make the whole. It got to be a holistic endeavor in us coming together as melanated people in a spirit of love and harmony and peace. First, by developing ourselves and our family members, then the community, and keep on going. So this spiritual energy will once again enhance the whole planet and have it in a state of peace and harmony. Once again. And never let it go back to this deteriorating demonic perception of wanting to control, wanting to be in control, instead of being at peace with everybody. But the nature of the beast is the nature of the beast, and it won't rest until it's put at rest. First, you got to put it at rest in your perception and your being, so that we don't partake of it in no form, shape, or fashion. So that's why we got to not practice their culture. We have to become culturally inclined to our culture as a people. Melanated people, black people, indigenous, aborigines, African American, the African that's in America, and the Africa that's in the America that's in Africa. Well, we gotta plot our course. We have to plot our own course. We can't be dictated to no longer. We gotta hold everybody accountable. Everybody gotta be held accountable, and everybody gotta be for real with this thing, because it's our life in this day and time. We got to develop it for our next generation of leaders, our children. We got to protect our children that have adopted to that higher nature within themselves and have become self-motivated to establish leadership within themselves for the next generation. But we got to develop our community in order to have that next generation, a safe haven for our next generation. And we know what we're up against. We're up against the power that be. The power that be is the political system that we find ourselves in now. With the hillbillies coming out the hill, and I ain't never seen nothing like it. Young as I am, I only seen, I think, about 9 or I don't know if it was 10 presidents or whatever. But I ain't never seen nothing like this in this political machinery like this. Even though it's been so hypocritical all these years that I've been in it. But it was subtle then, but it didn't make itself known. But right now, the covers is off this hypocritical system, this political machine of hypocrisy. This United States of hypocrisy under satanic administration, this corporation of the Carbon States, the Vatican, England, D.C., London, and Rome. See, we have to understand what we're up against so we know what we have to do as a people in harmony and peace and establishment of our own infrastructure. We know we're going to know what we're going to have to do because we're going to be forced to do it. Hopefully, by divine decree, it don't get to that level, but by divine decree, it's going to be what it's going to be. So we got to be mentally free. We got to be able to see with a spiritual eye, not just the 5 senses, because they manipulated that concept, that mindset with aspirations beyond our means and all that. They manipulated through mass mind control, commercial lies, and then they got the alternative facts. They're deceitful. They cover reality. They distort reality. They say things where you won't understand what they're saying. Manipulating, playing games with your mind. They do this all the time. This is the way they are. So with that, I'm going to just say we're going to rise. We got to rise. And we got to become the leaders of our community activists, and be aware, be observant what's going on, not only in our community, but in our homes and in the nation. Again, I think I seen something about they had an armored vehicle riding through the streets of Chicago, just like this emperor said he was going to do. This Roman emperor, because it's based on Roman laws. Fraudulent Roman laws in a world of reality that is ours, that we got to mold and shape, and not let them or allow them to continue to mold and shape our reality. And with that, I'd like to this breath of fresh air from the Creator that sustains us, to give us life, the breath of life that sustains us. We must live it in the essence of being divine beings within this temple, this physical reality. We must do this and build upon this. We must build upon our understanding. We must build upon the unity. We have to do this through unity. We have to become who we are culturally. We got to stop dealing with their culture totally and come into the essence of who we are. We have to go black to ancient, to the ancient future, to Kemet, ancient Kemet, ancient Nubia, ancient Ethiopia, Abyssinia, Malay, Timbuktu, Dongo. We got to deal with the African spirituality, and that's the essence of it. We have to come out of the Christianity and the Islamic and all that other stuff if it's going to divide us. All of it should be bringing us together in one essence, a divine essence, and that is our blessing. That is the realization. So spiritually, economically, culturally, we must come into our own as before, as the beginning, as the first, as the original, so that we can bring it right here to this now, to this present moment, mentally and spiritually and culturally, economically, every aspect of our being. And I want to give blessings to the pharaohs, the gods, the goddesses, the kings and the queens, and everybody with celestial, universal understanding, so we can have an effect upon this universe that we find ourselves in. And let's do what we have to do to sustain ourselves and to establish a community of love, peace, and harmony. And I say that with peace from me, love from me, and the power from me that's in sync with us as a people, a unique people, in all love and understanding. Let's do something today. Let's motivate somebody. Let's tell somebody that you love them. Let's uplift somebody that need it. In the essence of that one divine essence, one purpose, to get black to the blackness of who we are. Peace and love. And peace and love to the pharaohs. I see my brother Rick and all the other people that are watching. Peace and love, power, and understanding of the universe. Let's nurse it so we can take control of this universe in this chaotic time and confusion of those who control the essence of our life right now, to the point of if we politically in tune with them, we got to change the frequency and the vibration and the energy to get in tune to us as a people and get out of this corrupt, deceptive, quiet mind maze that they created. Peace and love.